Hello everyone. Now let's start the part 2. In previous video, I explained part 1 with the 3 chapters. What is Cacti, how to install Cacti, and finalizing setup. In this video, I will focus on part 2, chapter 4, how to use Cacti. Okay, how to use Cacti. Number 1, how to in this video I will explain how to add devices such as router or switch or server like this. And number 2, how to create a graph. Even if we are successful to add the devices, at first time we cannot see the graph. So if we want to see the graph for each the data from each the devices we already configure, we need to use this kind of command. First, the username Cacti, and using the PHP we need to execute this file in the Cacti directory polo.php. And if we execute this file will try to get the information from each devices we already configured. And we need to register the cron file for Cacti here, like this. So per 5 minutes, normally Cacti will execute this PHP file and try to get information. And after that, we have to restart the cron daemon and need to register to each level. And number 3, how to view graph. If we are successful to add the devices and create the graph, now we can see the graph for each devices. And after that, how to use template. Normally the Cacti supply many kinds of template for each devices. So let's try to use template as well. Okay, first, now I start the browser and try to log into Cacti with this domain name. Okay, in my case, username admin and password same. Okay, first, if you are successful to log into Cacti, you can see especially the 2 kinds of main menu, console and the graph. So now here, at first time, I will try to select this one, create devices, this one. So in the devices, this one support the several the template. In my case now, I will select general, the SNMP enabled host. Okay, then add. So you can see here, in my case, Linux server. The description and the host name 85. And the host template, I will use this one, generic SNMP enabled host. And the others, SNMP uptime, okay. And SNMP version, I will use version 2. And then the community will be the public, port number 161. The timeout, like this is the default. And after that, create. Okay, now I'm successful to create this one. So here, now associated graph template. So here we can add the template for graph. So first, let's try to add, in my case, Linux memory usage here. Okay, add. Okay, so here you can see, and more things. Load average, add. And after that, login in users. And one more thing. Process, Unix the process. Okay, add. Okay, then now I want to create the template, the graph template for this kind of things, 4 kinds, the template. Okay, and after that, save. Okay, then let's go to the create the graph for this host. So now here I can see this was host name, the Linux server, and here the create this kind of template, the graph, the memory usage, load average, users, and process. And one more thing here, now try to create an interface as well from the data query. So in my case, I will use the Ethernet 0. Okay, click, and after that, this one too. Okay, then I select the graph template and select one data code for SNMP. So now create. So here just create. So now this one will be the graph for the graph. And after that, let's click the graph, the trees. So here I can see only the default tree for the local host. So here let's add. So in my case, Linux server. Okay, create. Okay, then here, now try to add the three items. So here, let's add. So in my case here, I will select the graph, then the Linux server, the load average create. Okay, and more graph, and now the login users create. Now you can see the two template and one more graph and the memory usage and the graph here process create, and after that graph and traffic ETH0. So now I create 5 items here, so save. Okay, then here graph the management, we can see this kind of Linux server load average, login users, memory usage, processed, and traffic like this. And if you click devices, now the Linux server is a status unknown because this one now does not bring the data from this one. So here at first time we already selected this kind of information. So here associate the graph template. So now it's being grabbed like this. So now we can see the graph here. Okay, let's go to the graph. So now this one has already the graph for localhost. So here we need to. Now I already create only the localhost, but I want to see the here now this one default tree, not but I want to see the Linux server. So but here we cannot see the graph. So here, so if I click this one template here, any then though we can see the all kinds of the graph for each host, the Linux server, localhost. So now the localhost there is no the graph, but localhost we can see the graph like this. So to view the graph for the Linux server, we need to sum the comment. Okay, first here in the server part, please check the SNMP protocol like this. Graph. So in my case, in the server part, I already start the SNMP. If you don't have, or in my case, restart. SNMPD restart. Okay, and after that, okay, here, UDP protocol, the port number 161 is so open, or and oh sorry here. In my case, now I already configured like this. Okay, line number the 74, 75. So I already configured like this. Local host name, this one source, and the network, this one. So in this case, maybe we will use the public as a community. So this name, the community, and the got this, the community must be same. Okay. So in the server part, please check your SNMP is working well or not, like this. Okay, then in the graph, so now here I cannot see the graph. Even if I click, okay, Linux server, load average. Okay, then before you can see this kind of graph, you need to some the comment. First, let's go to the share. Okay, so here in this directory there are so many files, especially here this one folder.php. So here you need to okay Cacti and folder.php. Then you can see this kind of message bar. Now here normally the Cacti's the default time for the bringing the data normally it's 300 in mean the 5 minutes. So now I have only more 155 second only the past from the total the 300. So after around 145 seconds later, this one will try to the select what gather more data from the Linux server. So if you are successful this command, normally var Cacti. So in this directory, especially RRA. So here you can see this kind of data. So this kind of data normally take or send this kind of data to this kind of the graph. So if you don't have this kind of data, you cannot see this kind of data. So please check this kind of okay. Now if you see this kind of command, please check this directory here. You can see this kind of data. And one more thing, etc cron Cacti. So if you open this file, so here the 5 per 5 minute, this one Cacti username, and using the PHP file, this one Polo will execute this file. If you have any error, just delete like this. And after that, restart. And in my case, I already on. So number 2, 3, 4, 5 is cron is activated. Then the cron daemon will maybe execute this file, and normally the Cacti will try to get the information for 5 minutes from each devices. So if you are successful like this, then in the Cacti graph here, so now I can see Linux server load average, memory usage, and the traffic, and the login users, and the process. Before this Linux server, I already created the local host. So after 5 minutes, this Cacti will get the information and the data from each the devices, then show this kind of graph. So now let's check the load average. So load average has the 5 kinds: daily informations, and the weekly informations, and the monthly and the yearly. This one will show this kind of graph for each items, such as like load average, login users, and the process, memory usage, and traffic as well. So if this one also will show this kind of the traffics if the time pass. So now I show you how to add the devices, and how to create graph, and how to view graph, and how to use the template. If you are successful to see this kind of the graph, then in the console, please check your device. Now Linux server is up, and almost see here any, then there are 2 kinds. So if we are successful to bring the each information from the each devices we already configured, so here Linux server localhost, then you can see status opt like this. Okay, so far I show you how to use Cacti, how to add devices and create a graph, and how to view graph, and how to use template as well. Thank you for watching this video, and see you next video. God bless you.